I'm Uriah Lessman, and I hope this video finds you well. And if you had a bad day, I hope the thing that made that bad day a bad day. The next time that driver cuts you off, I hope that driver, the next time they go to Applebee's, they order one of the appetizers that's a little bit expired, and then they have to go to the bathroom, but do not make it all the way to the bathroom, and I hope they trip right before the bathroom and fall and embarrass themselves in front of everyone, equally as embarrassing as eating Applebee's in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. I think I think that's the best way to start any podcast. But is it a podcast, or am I just talking to myself in a microphone? Over the last couple days, I have had a realization. I have had a epiphany of a sorts. I genuinely feel like a different person. I've been I've been trying to figure out what I want my next show to be about. I have one show called Three Cults Walk Into a Bar. And that is written and is done. And there's a little tweaks here and there that happen live on stage. But now, because that's done, I am now working on another hour at the same time as having this hour. So I'm in a very unique sort of middle of this like grasping anything and just really trying to figure out what I want to talk about and what I want my next one-man show to be about. And it's weird because I already have one. I don't know what's going to happen with it. So I've been grasping at a couple different ideas. And of course, the different ideas of like religion, different sort of stuff that I love. So movies, the connection with that. And one thing that I am I've figured out that's been working a little bit is I've been finding sort of like correlations and patterns. In the 80s, of course, there was the MPAA got involved, all the heavy censorship of movies, sexuality, all this kind of stuff. All of that came extremely from the religious Christians and the Catholics in the United States. And this had a huge impact on artists, especially in those realms. But there's still remnants of that today. You have the MPAA, they rate movies, it's so interesting. Some things you might not know is that a movie in America is rated R if it says the word fuck twice. This is how dumb the rating system is. You say fuck twice in a movie in the United States is an automatic R rating. Is that how soft religion thinks our kids are? That they can't handle two swear words? Oh, you could say fuck one time. PG-13. Say it twice. Oh, R. These kids can't hear this stuff. And then I start thinking, wait a second. What is this sounding like? Rating system that we have because of religion and because of the family values are the same exact people saying that, oh, it's so woke now, everyone's so woke, you can't say jokes anymore. Aren't you the same people that heavily censor everything and actually are the cancel culture that you're saying that the Democrats are going for? Meanwhile, you're using the same exact playbook of the 80s. Instead of satanic cults, it's satanic Democrats. I get it. You guys have one playbook and it works and it works and it works. But man, it is so extremely boring to watch when you see it. And frankly, it's embarrassing. But this changes if it's if you say I want to fuck you, automatic R because it's in a sexual connotation. Why? It's very interesting that it's language that is often heavily censored by the right, because what it really is you can do and you can say whatever you want as long as you stay within the lines of the Bible. what was the inflection there? And the comedian's job is to dance around those lines and speak new ideas and thoughts. So it's essentially the same exact thing. You're just mad that someone else is saying what the rules are. You want to create the rules, and that's it. That's everything. It's so foolish. Sometimes I land up in these rabbit holes and I start watching political clips, and I do not know why I watch them. But it's so interesting. America is so obsessed with the idea of family values. It is one of the most annoying phrases I can even hear in my life. It's like, what do you mean by a family value? What you mean is what is in the religion that you believe that you want everyone else to believe. Same thing you could say on the left is that it does go too far in terms of particular ways and language that needs to be censored, and you can't even talk about those topics. I think I run an open mic, and it's become a very supportive, amazing open mic in Los Angeles. And you can say jokes that toe the line. But if you toe that line and it's not funny, and it's especially not from an experience such as yourself, and it's only shock value, and you're willing to toe that line strictly for shock, the only shock is I'm shocked that you think it's going to work and you think you're going to make a career out of that. What is interesting then is that you had a big exodus and this kind of like change of comedians going to Austin, Texas, and being like, this is a place where you have freedom of speech. Well, you did, and you still have freedom of speech. What's happened more is that there's an open dialogue, but there's no open dialogue when the first thing you say is, I am going to say whatever I want to say, and I want you to shut the fuck up, and I am going to make my entire fucking act about how, oh, I'm edgy, I'm different. You're doing an act of the mid-90s. You're living in the past, and the other people that are living in the past is people that read the Bible. It's like, Uriah, you gotta live in the present. Well, you know what? It's kind of hard to live in the present when I got people telling me that I gotta live 5,000 years ago and with those values. It's absolutely ridiculous. But what's interesting is if you go to the club in Austin, Texas, they scan your face, they scan your ID, you go through the metal detectors, and you're essentially doing the same exact thing that you're all mad about of government overreach, but it's fine because you're about to go do a political rally in a safe space where you can hear the R word, where you can hear jokes that are not interesting, but it agrees with your values. Comedy, particular scenes of comedy and pockets of that have turned into pandering to their own audience. That could happen when it's big comedians who have big followings because of a podcast, and people are going to see them because of their podcast and not necessarily because of their material. Me, I have crafted a way that people are seeing me live because of my own experiences. And when I hear someone else has a similar experience than me and they joke about it, that's totally amazing and okay. But I feel like where I see the line in particular stuff like this is when you want to just tell the joke because you are being told by someone else not to tell that joke instead of being respectful. And I think that is an interesting way, is your joke coming from a place of laughter and joy and you want to spread that, or is it coming from a sense of hate and a sense of self-doubt and a lack of confidence and overall, what it is just a shell that you could create to hide who you are. Because what I want to know about someone's comedy is who you are. It changes, but that's particularly what I want as a comedian. What I hear is, I am a comedian and I am uncancelable and I'm going to say the worst jokes imaginable. I think, oh, what you're doing is you're reflecting on society's trend, which is uninteresting and quite frankly lazy. And this could just be a foolish way that I've ever thought about anything. And this might not even be the way comedy has ever worked. But it's very interesting to think of what has happened in the sense of Theo Von interviewing. If you could call the interview, it was more of a puff piece of Donald Trump. But then everyone's like, no, but he had Bernie Sanders. He had Bernie Sanders right before it. Yes, but Bernie Sanders doesn't constantly try to fuck with democracy. Bernie Sanders doesn't constantly want to take away healthcare from people. He doesn't stoke fear and division. And I think it's very weird now to think of like people like Bill Hicks, George Carlin, Robin Williams. If you've seen some of his slightly political stuff, it's very interesting how right now there isn't big comedians on the left. And I feel like there's not big comedians on the left side of values because there's no advertising money there. There's no corporate interest in comedians of the left. What's very interesting if you start looking at like the big deals these comedians got, like Joe Rogan, who is one of the biggest investors and owners of Spotify, is actually someone with Chinese influence. Are they enabling the dumbest minds in the world who just cop out and be like, hey, no one should listen to me, I'm a moron? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a conspiracy theorist. But it's weird that this is strictly the only conversation that seems to be happening in comedies. You can't say anything anymore. You can't joke anymore. Instead of other more interesting things like pushing the barriers different ways. There's more than one way to push a barrier of a joke. And I think sometimes the cleverest way that you can tell a joke is to tell a joke that is right on the line, that is about someone or something that would not normally laugh at it. If they're laughing at it, that's when you win. There's this great quote. It might be Warhol. Art is getting away with it. And if you want to be a comedian who just gets the clicks and the likes, that is going to be the one that ends up getting the clicks and the likes. You have an algorithm built by big tech that constantly props up the same exact comedians that say, you can't say anything anymore. The hypocrisy is hilarious to watch, because one of the biggest things about comedy is self-awareness. But it feels like you get to a certain level of comedy, a certain level of no longer being with the common man, that self-awareness just disappears. I don't know what the point I was trying to get to. I'm just like really trying to like think about my comedy, think about how I can do my shows and specials different, because I want to do something that no one else is doing. And I don't mean that in a pompous way. It don't have to be like an A24 film has a signature of what you have to expect from it. I want, like, if there's going to be a label for what my comedy would be, you're going to have one-liners hidden within a story of perseverance that's slightly dark, a little bit of tension-filled, but will always leave you inspiring with a little kind of like different perspective on life and something that will sit with you longer than the show. When you see a good movie and it sticks with you, that's a really good movie. I think the battle now and the tricky thing now is for a comedian or anyone in art to constantly remain, lack of a better word, relevant, but true to yourself and who you are. Those are the hard things you're doing when you're trying to put your comedy in different sort of realms of the internet. Oh, you gotta appease the TikTok gods, appease the Instagram gods, appease YouTube. Oh, they changed the algorithm. Meanwhile, though, you need to be genuine enough that when you build that following, when you build that relationship with the audience, they actually want to see you. And technology is a huge part in all of that. It's funny, I said this before, I'm only on this because I have to be. But something has changed in the last little week where I'm like, I am not going to make algorithm friendly content. Oh, let's do news. Let's get that catchy. Let's get that catchy thumbnail with an arrow. Yeah, put an arrow up there. It seems like though you're at like a meeting and you're the artist. It's like you got this nice thing ready, and then there's the boss comes in. It's like in the middle of a rush. And the boss doesn't know what they're doing. And the boss is like, okay, none of this is working here. None of this is working. You don't have any arrows written on there. You don't have anyone making a weird face. You need 2 people making shocking happy faces. I need 6 arrows. And then people will click on it. I need capital letters. I need you to show the whole reason why they clicked on the video. I need you to show that in the first 5 seconds of the video. Then I want you to go back as if you didn't just spoil what the entire video was about. That's what I want you to. I want you to do reaction videos. I want you to do reaction. No, don't put your jokes online. Reaction. I want you to react to videos, but don't actually react. Just stare. Then you're not stealing content anymore. Don't worry, people don't care about stealing content anymore. They just want to watch and scroll. No, do not be genuine. It's like the little devil on your shoulder now. The boss is like, yes, top five picks. Shocking, heckler video, take down. Say it. When uploading a video, it's like there's this panel of devils and demons of the algorithm, and it scans it and goes, how many arrows did they put in the thumbnail? Does it say shocking in all caps? Does it show exactly what the whole entire video is within the first 5 seconds and then cut back? And how many times do they ask the like and subscribe? How many times do they ask the like? How many times? Oh, are Russian bots clicking on it? Do not show his video. There's no Russian bots stoking fear and anger on this video. Do not show. No one's clicking on it. There's not enough arrows on the thumbnail. That's what it feels like, is that what you're thinking about is a across the board dilution of art when you're thinking about what the algorithm likes. Will the algorithm like it? It's like you're part of like the mafia. You have an idea and you have to go and present it. And they're like, I hope you like it. Oh, I don't like this at all. You think people are gonna watch a 25-minute video of you talking shit about the algorithm and religion? Do a top 5 video. Do top 5 epic heckler takedowns. Do top 5 top 5 worst jokes. Do top 5 Kill Tony sets. Do top 5 worst Kill Tony sets. Do a reaction video. React. Steal the content. That's what it feels like with the algorithm. That's what the algorithm feels like. It feels like to me that is a good enough time to stop the podcast. I do not know what this podcast will turn into, but I will keep doing this podcast as long as the views stay under 100. How about that algorithm? How about that algorithm? How about I don't want people to watch it? How about it's good you're not showing people to watch it? How about that? How about you want zooms ins and zooms out? How about no zooms for you? How about no subtitles? How about that? How about I put subtitles in a different language? How about that? How about that? How about I put in black and white? How you like that, algorithm? You're gonna like a black and white video? I've been your Westman. Thank you very much for watching my video. There was a part of the video where it did cut out because I have not enough storage on my phone. So let's hope that the best part of the video was the part that I was straight up just talking to myself. Wouldn't that be the most hilarious thing? Is that a relationship with a microphone and an audience and a camera and a ring light, the most genuine reaction of me talking with the voice in my brain that's coming out loud now happened while nothing was being filmed and recorded. Wouldn't that be the most hilarious thing? Hey, algorithm, I do not want anyone to watch this video. If they do watch this video, make sure they don't like and subscribe. Make sure they don't click on my video right here, and make sure they don't comment down below. Make sure they don't do that, algorithm. YouTube, TikTok, I'm telling you, I do not care. I do very much care. I do. I do.